Hey, welcome back to another Netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Fantastic that you joined me today for episode number 184, Offset X number of months, etc. I absolutely love Quantrix, and I want to show you this trick that I came up with today on my day job that I put into employ. I have here a couple very basic matrices. I have a matrix called the timeline ref matrix, and what I do is I have year and month in it for the next 2 years, and then I have a formula that gives me the date of each month year combination. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to flag when when the input date that I put in here is equal to the timeline date, and what I'm doing is I'm calling that the current period flag. Okay, and how I do that is a very simple logical statement. I simply say if my input that's going on here is equal to my timeline date ref here for timeline date, then go ahead and give me a 1. Well, in this podcast, what I want to show you is how can I then flag if the number of months I want to offset. So let's say I want to offset the current period to 2 periods. How can I then pull in, say, 6/1/2017, or how can I put an indicator here that says that this is the offset 2 months from here, or X number of months from the current input date? How do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. What I would first off do is I would say I want to create a select statement, and I want to identify where in the I want to bring back the index of where the current period is, and I want to index the year and the month. So what I mean by that is I'm going to say select hashtag year month. So what this does is this brings in the index, okay, for year and month. And what is my key list? My key list is current period flag, and I need to specify year months so it reads the entire range or array of cells. And what value do I want to look up? I want to look up the 1. So when I do that, it goes ahead and it gives me a 4, and indeed that is it's at position 4. Okay, if I were to go ahead and select a different day, so like 6/1/2017, I would see that it would come in as periods. It would come in and the 6th position, which is 6 months over from January. So that's fine and dandy, but what I want to do is I now want to offset this 2 periods, and I want to bring in, and I want to know, and I want to flag whether it's a 1 or a 0, meaning that it is indeed the offset time period that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, within the select statement here, or before it, I'm going to say ValueAT. And I'm going to say, what is my list? My list is timeline date, year, month, and again I specify that, so I'm considering the entire range. And I say, well, what's my index? My index is really what I found here of where I'm matching my today's date, right? But then I'm going to add my offset to that. So then I do plus my offset. And if I go ahead and I do that, then I'm going to see it's going to give me a date, right? And if I were to format that really quickly, I would see that indeed it gives me 8/1. Say I wanted to go off 4 from an input of 6/1, I would expect to see 10/1. Okay, if I wanted to do 11, then I would see 5/1 of 2018. So it's working across the years, which is, I think, excellent. Well, I don't really want the date to come in here. I want there to be a flag. So then all I do with this is I simply say a logical statement, and I say, well, does this date that I'm returning equal the timeline date? And if it does, it's going to give me a 1 for true. It's going to give me a 0 for false. And you will see here that indeed, yep, 5/1 is 11 periods off of 6/1 of 2017. So again, if I were to go 3, I would expect to see 9/1 up here. Anyway, I employed this type of logic at my day job today, and I thought it was fantastic, and I wanted to share it with you. If you have any questions about this ValueAT function, this hashtag year month index stuff I've got on, this select statement, timeline date, these simple, logical statements that I'm using, or anything about Quantrix, I really do hope that you'll reach out to me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I absolutely love Quantrix. I want to make you a Quantrix master, so please join me again for another episode of Quantrix Authority with Rich Lopez.